A core skill of a great salesperson is the ability to ask questions, and specifically great questions. There are many types of questions, but fundamentally two types of questions: open and closed questions. As a rule of thumb, in a complex or consultative selling environment, try to ask as many open questions as possible. You want to explore, you want to discover, and help the client uncover opportunities and needs. Now, open questions typically start with the 5 W's and 1 H. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Apart from this, there are also 3 types of open questions. One is what we call generic open questions. For example, where do you come from? What do you do for a living? How long have you lived here? What are your favorite hobbies? What are your favorite books? Open questions provide a good context, so you can establish rapport and you can understand the situation and the circumstances. A second type of open question is what we call probing or problem questions. This is where, once you hear an opportunity, you want to probe deeper. For example, so you mentioned just now that you're kind of happy but sometimes frustrated. May I ask a little bit more? What makes you frustrated? You must listen for the opportunities to probe a little bit deeper, to understand the potential problems that the client may have. Sometimes probing questions may not even have to be questions. For example, tell me more. The third type of open question is reflective questions. Reflective questions generally start with what if. They are open questions that allow the client to think. What if allows the client to articulate potential outcomes that they are looking for, or potential outcomes that they should try to avoid, such as specific risks. What if this happened? How would it impact your personal situation? It could be both positive and negative. So what you're looking for are 3 types of open questions: generic, probing, and reflective questions. It is a deeper understanding of the client's circumstances. This is not a linear process, it's a dynamic process. You must continue to be intentional without being interrogative. Keep it dynamic, allow the client to share. Great open questions will allow the client to go on for a while. Make sure you try to summarize along the way, and at the end, once you summarize, ask, did I understand your situation? Did I understand your concerns? Did I understand the kind of outcomes you are looking for? Try to summarize at the end and try to ask a closed question to get the client to say, yes, you've understood. Again, recap, open and closed questions. Try to ask as many open questions as possible. There are 3 types of open questions, but all open questions tend to start with one of these 5 W's and 1 H. Generic questions establish the circumstances and situation. Probing questions allow you to go 2 or 3 levels deeper. And reflective questions provide the client the opportunity to share their feelings of what could be. With generic questions, you tend to get surface information. With probing questions, you tend to get both facts and feelings. But very powerfully in a selling situation, especially in a complex selling or consultative selling environment, reflective questions offer amazing insights into what the client is looking for. And often, that is where we share the value proposition we can offer. Now then, you want to summarize, and finally, you want to ask a closed question to make sure you understand everything.